So I'm thinking, is Oleksandr Usyk the best heavyweight of all time? You know, a lot of people say Ali is the greatest. They both share the same birthday. But if Oleksandr Usyk isn't the greatest heavyweight of all time, he's at least in the conversation, you know. I say, as far as the ring, I would say Lennox Lewis, Al Bernstein, the commentator who wrote a book. It was a great book. I almost finished it. I don't know. I think I misplaced it, but he said he thought Lennox Lewis was the best. George Foreman said something similar. So I say Lennox Lewis, but Oleksandr Usyk, like I said, has to be in the conversation. And it's not just because of his resume as a heavyweight and a cruiserweight, but it's the fact that he came up from cruiserweight in the era of these real big heavyweights. And if he beats Fury twice, he's gotta be talked about. He's beaten Anthony Joshua twice. He beat Daniel Dubois. He beat Fury. He's fighting Fury again next month. And to be a cruiserweight champion, Evander Holyfield did it. And Evander Holyfield was fighting the big guys back then, like Riddick Bowe, but he lost to Riddick Bowe twice and won one of them in the trilogy. And he lost really both fights to Lennox Lewis. That first fight was nowhere near a draw. That's incredible how that first fight, well, I can't stand loud cars, it's so annoying. But it's amazing how that first fight between Lewis and Holyfield was considered a draw. But the second one was for Lewis. If anything, the second one should have been a draw. But anyway, that's another topic. Oleksandr Usyk has to be considered, and he has to be making these other heavyweights have a little bit of being hesitant to fight him, because all the things you're going to face, man. The guy's constantly training. I've never seen him out of shape. I was just looking at him yesterday, and the dude, he had on a t-shirt, and you could see his muscles through the t-shirt. So there's a misconception that he's a small heavyweight. He's not really small, but I guess you might say that because if dudes are like 6'6", but you know, nowadays they consider tall, big, and shorter small, you know. But back in the day, Oleksandr Usyk would have been considered a pretty good sized heavyweight. I just think about when he first announced that he was turning heavyweight, we were like, okay, cool, let's see what he can do. And a lot of us were picking AJ to beat him in the first fight, but you know, he shut that down. Daniel Dubois kind of beat him, but you know, the referee didn't count that body shot as legal, so he got the nod in that. He beat a guy named Witherspoon. He beat Derek Chisora, and Derek Chisora gave him one of the toughest fights out of everybody, but he still won. And that's the thing about Usyk. No matter how tough the fight's going, he finds a way to adapt. He finds a way to make you work when you're tired. He figures you out. He's determined. He fights for himself, his family, and his country. It's hard to beat a man like that. And Oleksandr Usyk is not going in there scared of anybody. He doesn't care how many wins you have, how big you are. He's going to go in there and try to dominate you. And he would have been a tough fight for anybody in history. I've had a lot of people on my live stream ask me, would he have beaten Evander Holyfield or this guy? Lennox Lewis was asked who would have won between him and Usyk, and he said himself, of course. I think Lewis would have beat him too, just because he had such a ring IQ and was bigger and stronger. So, you know, but Usyk may have given him trouble. You know, he's just a hard guy to figure out. He's constantly moving. He's like a heavyweight version of Lomachenko. I want to know what y'all think about it in the comments. Do you think Oleksandr Usyk is not just a great heavyweight, but the greatest heavyweight of all time? Anyway, this is the J. Roos Theory. Make sure to hit that thumbs up for me on your way out. And LSR forever. If you wish to donate to the platform, the Cash App is $JRoos33. And be fearless. Yay.